Just give me 1 minute.
Hello, sir.
Yes. So,
So I'm Saurabh Sharma. So I messaged you in the WhatsApp, sir, regarding my project.
I
So the
saw, I
thing is
saw.
that we need to give a presentation soon. If you can help me a little bit, but why the error is coming like that, I don't know.
Okay,
But
so actually today I can't because today I was working
okay,
from.
okay, no problem, sir. When you can, so just tell me, then I will show you that.
Okay, let me. When was your presentation?
I think in the Friday.
Friday. Okay. Wednesday. Okay. Wednesday in my office time. If I try to manage some time, then I will connect with you. Okay.
Okay, sir.
After lunch, that's the one.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Because what happened currently, these training session are going on in the TCS. So what happened, I cannot manage a single bit of seconds. That was delivery. It takes near about 2 weeks. After that, it will be a little bit less. All right. So let's start with that. So in the string session, I was told you that we cannot able to modify the string. So is there any way to modify? So one thing or one way we can modify the string, that is using the format method or format function. What happened? Format method. For method is used in a string to modify the string. Like kind of, suppose this is my string. I am just declaring that we are learning Python. So if I wanted to edit it, if I wanted to edit or do any kind of update operation, there is no possibility. We are not able to do that. So how we can create that list dynamic? That's based on our way, based on our declaration, we can modify it. So let's do this thing. Further, we can use, I think you guys, most of you have know it, that I'm just changing. We're learning, then just remember, if you're in the, this is very interactive. Now here, just put it right. Python. Okay, so that's how what we can do. This Python will place here by default. Okay, one thing again we can do. Now we can create a, let's s1 equal to Python, and we can change it also. Again, we can consider another examples.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
Sir, I am Moinak. And the format method is used to insert the value in string.
Yeah.
Okay. All sorts of value or some specified value?
No, a format method. Actually, I told you that the string, we cannot edit the string. So suppose you have to insert some data inside the string. So how you are going to do this thing? You can use the format method, and some, basically the whole string you don't need to modify. Some part you need to modify. You can change the part using the format method, and this is the syntax of it.
Oh, okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Yeah. This is syntaxes. You can change whatever you require. You can place it here. Suppose you wanted to, okay, let me do this. Suppose after that you want to change something. So let's, This one is 2. So now it will change, it will reflect here also. This is the default way. So we can just add some argument into that format also, or add some method if we required. So this is the one way we can represent the formatting. The second way is, let me write it down. You can do this one, indexing 0 1. What is that? That represent, this is the index 0, this is the index 1. So 0 index placed here and the 1 index placed here also. Same as the format. Again, you can modify it with another way. Like suppose this is the language.
So in place of 0, it will come Python, right? In place of 0, it will.
Yes, by default it came from the this S1 as the 0 index and this S2 as the 1 index.
If I reverse it, the S2 and S2
Yeah,
and comma
then it will, then Java will come first and Python will come second. But by this way you cannot reverse it. This is, I am going to give you some extra access. You can modify it further.
Okay, so
Language was 2. This is the same thing, but now here you can mention. Suppose this is my language 1. This is my language 2. So that's how we can edit, we can format it, we can create our modifiable string. So format method is very good. You can use this one also.
Sir, here the language 1 and language 2 are variable. You have assigned to
Yes.
S1 and S2.
Yes. I just take two variable to assign it here.
Okay.
Simple things just like that.
can
Here I
you
use
just
yes.
language 1 equal to Python or language 1, language 2 equal to Java directly in the format side?
Here. Yeah, direct. See, I assign it with two variable. Why is that? Because almost of the time this version you will get. That's right. You can directly assign it here. You can directly write it here. Okay, let's write down it's C. So C is assigned directly to the variable language.
Okay.
This is a type of the way I am showing. Okay, so that's all about that. That's the part is remaining in this tree. So as the last day I covered up your the list, most of the list method. You just go and Google it. There is some there's some methods and some practice assignment would be available in the Google. Just try to practice it. You will find more grip on that. So next, start today with the tuple. In the list, whatever I told you, whatever functionality, whatever requirement, what is the characteristic I told you, tuple also provide the same functionality. It is also a data structure, or we can say it is also a built-in data type in Python that is used to store multiple data in a list or in a list kind of representation. We cannot say directly to the list because list is another type of data structure. A list kind of representation. That is a tuple. So in general, there are four type of data structures are there in Python. First one is list, I told you. Second one is tuple. Third one is dictionary, and fourth one is set and booleans. Set and booleans, leave it for the rest. Next day I will cover. Today I will show you the tuple and dictionary. Now remember that these tuples are ordered. They remember their order, and we can basically get its representation actually we need it. What is mean by order? Order means as the position 0, that is fixed for that particular element. The position 1 is also fixed for that particular element, and it is going through the way. So if the size is 10, if I wanted to access the last value, I can get directly accessing the slicing operation of it. So here the tuple is ordered. Now what is, okay, first what is the representation of the tuple? It also do the same part, but one is suppose T1. This is my tuple. T1. List we use third bracket. Tuple you have to use the first bracket. So here just provide so this is a one kind of tuple. If you wanted to declare a blank tuple variable, use this one, just like the list. This is a blank tuple variable. Now, what is the differences from the tuple and the list? The main differences is that this tuple cannot be modified. That means suppose you wanted to do this one. In list, it is, you can do it. You can easily do it. Let's go from the app to the Apple one. You can access this thing. In tuple, that is forbidden. You are not able to do this thing because tuples are not mutable. Only list are mutable. So you cannot edit a tuple. So what is the advantage of it? It provides a single bit of restriction to the users to use this thing. Second is it gives a single little bit of your security to create the security to access or to go with the security. You cannot easily delete or easily modify the tuple. Second one is, this is the differences between list and tuple. Second one is it is get from the time complexity, that is tuple a little bit faster rather than the list, as it is not modifiable. So in compiler interpreter, it does not have to hesitate that either it is going to modify it or do we have to perform any kind of restriction on that or not. It is easily we can iterate over it, and it is not, as it is not modifiable, we don't have to think of that some value it is going to be modified or not. So these two are the basic differences of the list and tuple, and near about the methods and the method structure are almost same.
So we can edit list, sir.
Yeah, we can easily edit the list, but we cannot replace, we cannot override a element in the list. If you are suppose into the position 1, if you do the same thing into the list, what happens? The Apple 1 will placed into the position 0 and it will just added here. But in tuple, it will not reflect it kind of like that. If you are going to add it into the 0 position, that means basically we are modify the position value. Here this index position 0, the value is Apple. I wanted to change the value to the Apple 1. So in list it is possible. You can easily do this. But in tuple, you are not able to do that. It is restricted. Now, second part is it possible? Okay, let me see.
Hello, sir. Hello.
Yes, tell me.
So the system understand for using the first bracket as tuple. For using the first bracket, the system understand that it is a tuple, and
Yes.
third bracket as list.
Yes. That is a, it's not system. Your Python interpreter understand.
Okay.
Basically, what is the key advantage of Python over your other programming languages? That is a key advantage. If you are in Java or any other programming languages, these data structure are not directly supported. You have to you have to import some kind of modules. From the modules, you can import the stack, queue, linked list, or this array list, whatever it is that. But in Python, they are directly supported. That's why the Python at the time of the data type vector, as I told you, there is no integer, there is no direct data type like integer, float, or character. Okay, one is the either it is numeric type data or non-numeric type data. If it is non-numeric, then we refer it as a string. If it is numeric type, then it is nothing but either, then we check that either it is falls under the integer or floating pointer value or some kind of negative value or not. Next comes, these are called the array kind of structure. So these basically these structure are divided into 4 data types. One is your list, tuple, dictionary, and set and booleans. Set and booleans mostly used for your mathematical operations like the Venn diagram or the set theorem. You have already known it. So that's way. So we talk this later. So now in list it is possible, right? If it is in list, then it is possible. Now in Python, is it in tuple, is it possible to set the duplicate value? Yeah. In tuple, it also may contain the duplicate value. Don't worry. Tuple allows the duplicate value to store into this thing. Next is basically the now if I'm talking about the next year method, so here we also use the length to get length of this value. We can use the append, we can use no, we cannot use the append, we cannot use the extend also because tuple the modification is not possible, but you can use the remove option other this value, everything is done. Now the second part is, can tuple contain multiple data types like apple. Is it allowed? Yeah, tuple also supports to store. We can store multiple data types into tuple also. That is another kind of thing. Now, there is one method I think you guys know, that is type method. What is the type method store? Type method show that which type of object it is, because in Python, whatever we represent, most of the represent as the object. So which type of object it is? Either it is a kind of your integer type of object. So if I wanted to check that which kind of object it is, just put the object value here, and if you're going to check it, then you will find out that it will declare it with some tuple kind of objects. Okay. So what is the key thing that we learn? Remaining all of the functionality are same as the list. The key thing is that we cannot edit or cannot modify the tuple value. We cannot add the value inside the tuple, but as well as the tuple can contain the duplicate value. We can apply whatever the methods and the structure operation we have performed in the list. The same thing we can perform here also inside the tuple. Only the modification structures are not allowed in tuples. Okay. So that's all from the tuple. You guys just go and practice with the same thing. Practice is whatever I show you to the list, just practice with the same thing. Then you will find out some portion you are getting the error. Okay, then just check it that either it is going to change the tuple or not. If it is going to change the tuple, then definitely it will throw the error. Okay, so that's all from the tuple. Now the remaining part is dictionary. Okay,
Sir,
yes,
sir,
yes.
sir, the tuple and list, sir, which takes more memory?
More memory.
Yes.
See, this list and tuple, we cannot directly say that which consider more memory, because there are object type of data. In object type of data, we cannot say that, because their memory is not fixed. Their memory depends on the structure of this data. That means which type of data present in this data structure.
Achha.
Okay. So what happened? That's did you or learn the type what you can say that auto boxing or unboxing
No, sir.
in Java? Did you learn or not? Because that Python I cannot say this thing. One thing is integer I, the second one is integer I. These two are difficult thing. In Python, basically these both are same, but in Java, basically these both are different thing. So the size of this I and size of that I, they are not same. Why is that? This I is not a local variables, or this I is not a variable. This is nothing. This is kind of, now it is variable. Okay, I have to initialize it. I have to initialize this thing. So this I depends on the size of the structure, size of the object, and this is not a fixed variable. So you can directly define it is a local variable, or you can directly tell the size of it. But in tuple or in list, we cannot consider it. In future term, you will find out one thing, that is NumPy. I think some of you knows about it, right? NumPy libraries. Okay. What is the structure of NumPy libraries? Is it that kind of way? Go and check it sometimes, or I will show you one day. Okay, one thing, good question. Actually, I remember one thing. Let me show you. So basically, we cannot say that what is the size of the, either this T1 is bigger or my list size is bigger, but based on the context, based on that how much data, how much character it contains, we may say this thing. So the size is never fixed for it. But the question arises that suppose you are going to build a program. So which module you consider the mostly, right? Yes, either you are going to access it with the list, or you are going to access it with the tuple. Because I also faced the thing once. Suppose I was using the list, simple list, and the time complexity becomes more. So see that the contextual part in which basically suppose your data does not need to modify it. You can directly you just need the value. Most of the cases it is not happen, because most of the cases you have to modify the value. That's for sure. So if you don't have to change it to the list, or if you don't have to change it to the data structure, then what happen? You can use the tuple. Next one is, again you will find out two things. These are all what we are declaring. We are declaring directly to the data structure. They are not bounded by any object oriented concept, right? So if you are going to build anything like web development or web development structure, then you have to go with this object oriented structure. But as simple, suppose I have to build one model that 3 to 4 lines, nothing but the data pre-processing is already done. I have to import the thing, import the method, just maximum 10. If it is 10 lines, you can call this method, you can go through with this data, whatever you needed, and you will get the final result. You don't need to initialize into the class variable. So what happened actually, that is the one of the, we can say, now we are talking about the limitation of the Python. So what is the advantage of the Python is that every time you don't need to consider the object oriented concept in the Python, because if you are going to you are going to apply all the object oriented characteristics, suppose you require, then you can apply it. But while you are building a model, most of the time you find out that you don't require it. But also we declare it, that's for sure. We have to maintain the object oriented concept, because there is obviously there is some advantage. But tuple find out that object oriented, this data structure, this data structure provide a little bit more accuracy, or little bit more good results, or more efficiency to the system, rather than a procedure object oriented concept. That's why only using this data structure we can build a code, a simple code, formatted code. So again, this tuple, another type of concept is that you can Google it, that is name tuple. Name tuple, instead of object oriented concept, we can use this name tuple and name tuple things. So that actually I also did not go that amount of further. I did not have that amount of knowledge of this name tuple. I only knew some basic terms. So this name tuple is also used instead of your object oriented concept, and it provides a little bit more accuracy to the system. Now come to that part.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
I think so. I don't know about that. Tuple is taking less time to run, right? So I think it will take less memory because it's taking less time.
No, actually, that's how we can say that it is. Sometimes it is okay. Sometimes suppose I'm just giving you one simple example. binary search and linear search. If your linear search is small but your result present in the last way, then your time complexity becomes more. But if you are doing the binary search, if your list search is very big but your data is present at the middle, then how many big or how many size it would be, the time complexity becomes very less. So we cannot say based on that if it
Okay,
is size
okay,
is small, the time required less, time required more. Based on the accessibility we can say, or based on the operation we can say that.
okay, okay,
Okay,
sir.
got it.
Okay.
Now can we declare these kind of things? Just guess it, don't worry. Can we create this kind of thing? What is that? In list, I already told you, inside a list we can store any kind of object. That is another. Either it is tuple or dictionary or set or some kind of hashable object or some kind of another type of object, some kind of numeric object, whatever object is, we can store it in the list. That is, all of you just remember this thing. Suppose you are doing some kind of project and you don't know what to do after that. Suppose I gave you a complete a page, nothing but a file, a unstructured file. You have to modify it or you have to change something, you have to pre-process it. So the first question is how we are going to do this. Remember one thing, just try to convert entire context or try to store entire context inside a list. If you change, if you are possible to change everything inside a list, what happen, you can do any kind of operation on that. So remember one thing, that whenever you are going to build any kind of project, the first step is you have to set one data structure for it, store the value there, so you can create any kind of modification on that, that makes your performance. Now comes to that part, that in basically in our list, I already told you that inside list we can store everything, but tuple I already told you it is not modifiable. Okay, so can we change or can we store this thing inside the tuple? So from the visual, from the PowerPoint, yes, we can store a mutable data structure inside a tuple. Remember this thing. We can store a mutable data structure inside a tuple, but tuple cannot be modified. That means, suppose what would be the, okay, that would be one. What will be the, first this represent the first one, nothing but this is 0 and this is 1. And the second represent 1, that means this is 0 and this is 1. That's how we define this 2D array. You guys already know it. So in tuple, basically this, if I'm going to do that part, let's do the 9. So what happened, either my Python interpreter allow me to do this, yes, it will allow you, because see, this is the list, it is modifiable, we can easily modify it. But if I do that one, t2 equal to 1, it will not allow it. Python will not allow. What happened? Because tuple cannot be modified, but obviously if we declare some mutable data structure inside the tuple, that mutable data structure can be modified. Clear? Any question?
Sir,
Yes.
so by using the for loop, we can also modify this data, I think.
By the for loop.
Yes, sir.
No, see, for loop means basically what happened. If you are declaring, suppose this is my for loop. Okay, I'm just doing a simple representation. Here, suppose if you want to modify it, nothing but what happened? You just basically change the context. If t1 of I, that kind of thing, where basically change of 1, 2, 3. So what happened? This I is nothing but 0. You just start from the 0, 1, 2. That's how I iterate over it. Right. So tuple cannot be modified, whatever you can. Okay, but you can add some value. Okay, let me open, let me show you the you can say the method structures. 1 minute. No, we cannot modify the tuple. One thing. That is one of my tuple. So if I wanted to change this, and if you guys require the codes like different type of tuples modification tuples of codes, so for that just wait for the weekend because I just need sometimes I will create the thing and then share it by all of you.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Okay, sir.
Just for now, just if I forgot, just ping me in group or you can ping me in person also. Just for the files, I will share. Actually, I have all the files ready, but currently it is not with my system, so I have to check it. Okay, so that's all about the tuple. Most about that is the tuple. So now again we can, as we can store the nested tuples here also, we can check the length, we can delete the element from the tuple, but we cannot append the value, or we cannot save the value here. We cannot edit it. So that's all about the tuple. And as well as we can also declare the mutable data structure inside tuple. It is possible. Now let's forget it. Start with another, and this is one of the important data structure. You will find out this part. Dictionary. Have you learned map in Java? Did it is covered?
No, sir.
No. Okay. This map and this dictionary are same. It is not covered. So let me show you. First is this dictionary is also another kind of data structure, but it is unordered. Okay. And second is this dictionary basically instead of this list and tuple, basically list and tuple, what happens is basically store one object into a single index. Into the zero index is considered only single object, not more than one object. But indexing, what happens, there is nothing concept like either it is the index start from 0 1 because it is completely unordered, and each of the value into dictionary, each of the value represent with a key pair relationship. That means each of the value with corresponding here has assembled with a key value. To access the value part of the dictionary, we have to access it with the key. Don't worry, don't be confused. I will show you some. So instead of holding single value, key value pair. To access the value, we have to access it with the keys, and these keys should be unique. So let me write it down. keys should be unique. What happened if the key is not unique? What happened? Basically, as it is not it is does not maintain any kind of order. So if you wanted to fetch it through the keys, and if the keys are not unique, so there is one kind of ambiguity, right? Suppose the keys are A, B, C. If there is more than one A is present, I wanted to access the value from the A. What happened? It will throw the error. Basically, we will not distinguish. That I will show. Don't worry. So what is the main part? The main part is this dictionary is very optimized. As it is based on the key value pair, we can directly, but we can have another value here. Okay. What is another value? Instead of storing, suppose we can store like that time. Suppose I am going to store a fruit. So I can use fruit as a key if it is a unique in my groceries. So fruit, apple, or vegetables, some kind of else, or grocery, some grocery items, that is some another value. That's why I can create a list kind of representation. So this this dictionary is little bit complex than our list and as well as a tuple. So now one of the key functionality of this dictionary is we cannot apply polymorphism. That will come from the object-oriented concept, polymorphism. We cannot apply polymorphism on the dictionary, but skip that part. Just remember that the polymorphism is not allowed. What is polymorphism? I guess most of the you know, but don't worry, I will cover this object-oriented concept here also. So how to create a dictionary? Now see the structure. I'm just declaring one variable. Now here it starts from the second braces. This is I declare a direct dictionary or a fixed or not static, a fixed dictionary. So that's how we represent. Now see, the dictionary is declared with the second braces. Remember, tuple is first bracket, dictionary is second braces, and the list is third bracket. Okay. Now, how to access this thing? How to access this all? If I okay, let me show it here directly. That is my dictionary. If I print the thing in the printer, yeah. See, and see, this is this dict from the class dict. Okay. Now we can basically again now comes to the operation part. Yeah, we can add, we can edit, we can delete more near of the whatever we can do, we can perform it. But remember, into the dictionary, this represent the key part, and after the colon, this represent the value part. Okay, let me write it down in structure way. Now, these are all of the methods. This is the basically nothing but the constructor. So leave the constructor aside. So see, here is one keys, but this is happening the key, as well as let me show you one key. Dict.key basically it returns all the key value of this from the dictionary. These are all the key values. Remember and check this thing very carefully. Dict.keys returns the key value. Now, what is the type of it? The type is nothing but see here is it returns a list kind of a list. Nothing but a list from the dictionary. DI.item basically it prints a complete dictionary representations. Okay. So what nothing but see it creates di.items create each of the key value pair. It is precise under a tuple. See this thing very carefully. And the entire dictionary is converted within a list. Up to that. Now, why it is converted by the tuple? Nothing but we don't want to modify the content. That's why it is represented as a tuple, and the entire is converted as the list. That's how it is printed. Let me comment it down also. Clear all?
Sir,
Yes.
so can we print anything by calling the key value?
Direct, surely, definitely. See,
So,
if I'm going to suppose of what suppose I wanted to print the type, just simply put the type here. But it is printed.
yes, sir.
Now, suppose you wanted to iterate it. Okay. How to iterate? Nothing but
Hello, sir.
yes.
So can you please repeat the first thing from the print d1 dot key because my screen was not visible actually. So having
Okay, okay, no issue. From where? Here.
From the yes, sir.
Okay. As I'm saying that this d1.keys, what happened? It returns nothing but all the key values from the dictionary. So see the what is the return type? The return type is nothing but a list.
Okay.
Now again, if I'm going to use d1.items, so what happened? It returns all the items from the list. Basically, it prints the dictionary, but with another formatted way. What is the formatted way? See, it is not a dictionary. You clearly see that it is not a dictionary. It returns a list, and inside the list, what are the data members? Nothing but each of the individual tuples. Now, inside the tuples, what are the data members? Nothing but the key value pairs. Okay. So again, also we can do another thing. Let me show it. Let's see. Now, see, it again returns the value. So sometimes it is asked that convert your dictionary to the list. How you are going to convert it? Okay. So using it is said sometimes most of the time it is said that convert your dictionary to the list. So you cannot convert your dictionary using a single list. You have to use some kind of nested structure. That means either there should be a tuple present inside your list, or maybe there would be a list, only a list within a list kind of structure. That's how you can change, or you can convert your dictionary from the complete list. Next one is, see, whenever you are showing that, suppose I wanted to iterate over this, we can iterate it through this way. See, clear? Now, again, also the perform like your the pop operation, the clear operation. If you want to clear the deal, you can clear it. Okay. If you wanted to, if you wanted to add the list, you can use add. You can attach one dictionary with another dictionary using add method. Okay. And that's how we can perform the each of the operation. So, okay, let me show it. Some couple of operations I'm showing. E1 dot content. So we can add okay, modules. We can add another thing, modules. Okay. 18. For now, I'm just commenting on. See, this module has taken as a nothing but another key. The module is also taken as another key. Now, let me check one thing. Suppose I show you, or suppose I provide you the same thing again, or same key ID. What happened in the back? Now, this key value, as I told you, the key value cannot be duplicate value inside the dictionary. You always have to maintain that kind of stuff. So at the time, if the ID keys, at the time, if the same key value comes again and again, what happens? The value gets changed. The value gets changed, the value gets modified. But the key remains unique on that position. Okay. Next is, that is also similar thing.
Sir, can you please repeat this thing, module and IDE?
Okay. See, inside this, the update method. What is the update method does? The update method basically it will update the dictionary. It takes only it takes only one argument or more than two argument from 1 to n, and the argument structure is a variable name and some value assigning it. So the variable name that is directly assigned as the key inside my dictionary. Okay. And the value what we have declared that will assign as a value into that key inside my dictionary. Now, these modules basically the key. As I told you, that dictionary always have to be unique to represent its keys. See here, everything the name may be differ, the name value may be changed, but the key should be unique. Otherwise, what happens? It will create one ambiguity. Suppose think like that. Let me see. Think like that. Here it is name, here also it is name. So if I'm going to call it, if I'm going to call it here, name. So on the spot, what happened? Either it will going to predict it is a Python, or it will going to predict it as an interpreter. So a ambiguity kind of things is happening. That's why by default you cannot able to declare the keys value, uh, uh, duplicate keys value inside the dictionary. You have to maintain the key value as a unique. So what happened into my here? That's what. Here first I update ID as a Jupyter. Again, I also send the same key value ID. The value is changed, but the key value nothing. But the variable value is variable value is same, but the actual value, the assigned value is different. So
Yes.
either it will going to update, it will going to create a duplicate ID, duplicate key value. Obviously, whatever it will check the ID is present. Okay, so go and let's update this thing. Go and let's update the value.
Mhm.
That's how it is done. It works.
That means it allow only unique ID.
Oh, yes. All the time, just remember that keys value should be unique inside the dictionary. Everyone, remember that part. Keys value should be unique. If you forget to, it will by default it will throw the error if you forget to mention keys value. So next is, let me show one thing. Suppose that kind of copy part I already told you. Let's create a second dictionary, nothing but D2. So I just need to copy that part. So it will copy. If I use D1 equal to D2, it will copy. So to the answer.
Sir,
Yes.
I have some error occurs. Please share my screen.
Okay, I will check. Okay, now can anyone tell me that if I comment out this line, okay. Now if I wanted to print this again, D1, see the value will came, right?
Yes.
If I print here, if I am print is remaining, if I execute this line D1 line, so the these two value will get changed because D1 will replaced by another instance of the D1. Now if I go and use this print D1, I will check it. The value. So one thing you guys remember, sometimes it will get confused that what would be the value here, why it is coming, the value I stored this amount of value coming some little bit. Check here into the variable explorer. Here check that how many values we store. Now D1 is modified up to that point. So again, this value represent the values, whatever value stored into this D1, this value will store here. But if we reinitialize it, again, see what happened, the value gets changed. Clear? Now D2 also, I created a D2 variable. The value of D2 is also same because I just create the copy of its D2. There is a one type of copy. Last day I told you. So in the second. D3 equals to D1 dot copy. See, D1 is also create another copy of this D1 and D2 variable. This copy represents as a shallow copy. And this is the I forget the actual, maybe it is called the soft copy or the deep copy. What is the difference between these two? this first one, the reference of d1 and d2 is same. So if I modify something inside this d1, it will reflect in d2 also. But what is the second one? What happened? The reference of d3 and the reference of d1 are not same. Why is that? Basically, in the first way, it will in d1 have the same reference as the d2 has the same reference as the d1. So whatever I'm going to try to edit or modify, it will definitely reflect d2 also as well as the d1 also, because the reference is same. And here what happened, first it will create a blank instance of this d3 variable, then the value is assigned. That's why their location is different, but as the same value is assigned, the same value is assigned, so values are same. Clear, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now share a screen. Let me check.
Sir,
Yes.
sir, in the same way, can we merge the values?
Yes, you can change the values. You can
Oh,
edit, you can modify anything. You can change the values. And
okay.
again, also we can also assign the all the type of object inside the dictionary. Okay, like suppose I wanted to store a list. You can store a list inside the dictionary, but you have to check it with a unique key.
Hmm.
Yes. Definitely it will throw that. See, your identification is different. Identification, check the identification. See, there is lots of space from D, print, printel, print for I. Okay, let me give, let me provide me the access. I told you, na? In Python, always maintain your identification.
Okay, okay, sir.
Don't worry, just first let me complete all the theoretical portion. One day I will take and I will start coding of it. Some all the list type of whatever the remaining is there. I will one day I will take it. Just for now, just go with this theoretical portion. One day I will start that dictionary, all the type of dictionary operation, and that's all. I already completed this thing, and you all of you guys just parallel do it. Then you will also get the visual of it. Now run it, save it, and run it. Got it? Invalid syntax. Yeah.
Yes.
Why it is called invalid syntax? Because you in the line number 23, you use d1 dot type. Don't use dot. Remove the
Okay.
dot. Just d1 type. Now save and run it. Got it?
Yes, yes, sir. Thank you.
So that's all about the dictionary, the basic. Now, let me say it. As I'm telling you that now let me go on. So what it would return? So that's how we can access the slicing operation. Now here we can create, perform. If we use some another kind of slicing operation, we can also do that part. If I use this 4, if I run the part, so that amount of value return. Okay. So remember how it is accessing. First, take the variable d4. Then what is the next index, or next basically next slicing value? Check what is the key value, nothing but the least one. Come. After that, if any slicing, these are called slicing operator. This slicing operator represent that there should be some list kind of structure, or maybe some kind of iterative kind of structure, iterable kind of structure. Check from the 0 and it will stop from 4. And it will
Hello, sir.
then after that. Yes.
So in Python, the last 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, then it doesn't include the last value, right, sir? It is default.
0, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Means here it is 100, 200, 300, 400. In Python, we have seen that they don't take the last value.
Yeah, actually why happens, see, this 0 is by default, but this 4, if what is the 4? Is it nothing but the last item? If I consider it, so 4 is nothing but the 5th item. That's why it is doesn't consider the last one. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. This is the first item, second item, third item, fourth item. This is the 5th item. Okay. So what happened? This slicing operator, it takes the first item, it takes the last item. But if we send, suppose I wanted to get from the first item, that was the 0 to the third item. So if I provide 0, 2, 3, what happens? This is 0, this is 1, this is 2, this is 3. But up to that is my 3 element that I want it. Okay. So instead of that, I have to provide here 2. From the logical point of view, don't need to go in this syntactic. From the logical point of view, I need to provide the 2 because 0 to 2 is nothing but 3 items because I require 3 items. So that kind of ambiguity, to avoid that kind of ambiguity, by default Python takes it as a 3, and it in the back end it basically remove -1 from it. So it becomes 2. So basically it provides that you are getting from item 0 to 3, nothing but up to the 3 elements.
Okay. It is a kind of a range.
Kind of a, yeah, you can, it's obviously kind of range.
Sir, what if we give out of bound? I mean, here there is 0, 1, 2, means if there are 5 items and if we give out of range, so what will it print?
What will definitely print the error? What would the type of error? Array index out of bound.
Okay.
Let me show it. 9. So 9 is not 9 element is not there in my list.
Yes.
Okay. So it takes up to 500 by default. Okay. I forget. What happens? Suppose it start to iterate. Okay. Then at the end, up to 9. This 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. After 4, what are the value that will present? Nothing but null.
Yes, sir.
That is the reason provided. Because the list is dynamic, so whenever you're going to provide any kind of operation, what happens? Then it will take it as.
Sir, I think in Java it will show array out of.
Definitely Java it will throw error, but Python automatically it reassign, and it will. Actually, it happens kind of your char and worker kind of things. The worker, what happens? It will not let you to, suppose you have declared 100 blocks for a string, and the string requires only 2 elements, 3 elements. Automatically remove that part. Python do the same kind of work or same kind of stuff. It does required for it. Okay, let me check it one thing. Suppose if I start it from 5, then there should be one error. There's a blank list. But if I take it as a null, that's why. Got it?
Okay, sir.
Sir, is
Now,
taking null value, sir. If I give the list 2 here, D4 list 2.
I didn't get it. If
Yeah, it's like D4 list 1 is given.
hmm,
If I give a list, it will take the value.
suppose you provide the wrong key, right? What happened? Key error. That means it is not listed to your system.
If I give list 2 here,
Actually, I told you one thing, that what happened with the Python memory manager provides a biggest role to the applications. This everything is done automatically by the Python memory manager. You don't have to think about the either it will throw error. Biological point of view, definitely it will throw the error because there is nothing listed inside my fifth index. But what happened in Python, basically when it's so, okay, I'm getting the index, the slicing from the starting index 5 and the index is 9. Okay, there is no item is there. So okay, so add by default nothing but the null value. So it expand the list and provide the output result, nothing but the end results. Got it? That's how the list work. I told you. It automatically creates a duplicate value and it just copy the first one, assign the same reference and delete the previous one.
Okay.
Okay, all right. So that's all about dictionary, but yeah, obviously some kind of your operation is remaining. Okay, let me show you one last thing. The gate. Sometimes it is required. Suppose D1 dot get. This get value is used to get the value from it. Takes the index of it. What is the list 3? List 3. See, there is nothing listed inside there. Let me provide you with the name Python. So just go with this basic operation. These are the very basic of the dictionary, but dictionary is very useful. Now the main part is remaining, that is to iterate over a dictionary. List I already told you, tuple I already told you. Now how to iterate over the dictionary? There is one way I already show you. We can create this is the best way and this is the easiest way. Just go get the list. Whenever I'm creating the d1 dot keys, it will definitely return a list kind of structure. List is easily iterate. We can easily iterate over the list. Now iterate it and assign it. Suppose I need to change, we can change it also inside there. Let me show it to you. See, everything is replaced. Every value part is replaced. So that's not all the operation, most of the operation of the dictionary. Now just go and practice. There is lots of programming assignment or program examples are available. Okay, practice it. You will find out that that's all from the data structure. Now one part is remaining, that is comprehension part.
Sir, can you please sir, describe this part?
This one,
Yes, sir. Yes.
what is there? I just d1 dot keys return a readable list. I wanted to iterate over it. So what happened? Now I, what is the value of I? value of each of the iteration, the value of I is nothing but this name, type, and runtime.
Yes.
What happened? I just put this error, the string error, inside each of these, each of your key value. So it is replaced. Now error is replaced, this Python, oops, and the interpreter. These three value are replaced by this error string, and this is my the final value with the dictionary. So now you guys can clearly see that is the key value can be unique, but we can say duplicate value. We can create any duplicate value along with this value part of the dictionary, and it will not throw any kind of error because they are accessible by the key value, not directly. So definitely we can access it. Clear?
Yes.
Okay. And any question from others?
Sir, keys are not changeable.
Keys are not modifiable. Keys are not modifiable. You cannot modify
in this
that.
part, D1 dot keys. So here we are iterating with the keys. So as logically, it have to change the keys part, na? Not the
It has
values.
to. Actually, I did not got your context. You are saying that this key value. So suppose I
Yes.
wanted to change the key value, or suppose I want to edit the key value. What
No,
I
sir,
have
the key name.
the key name.
Yes, sir.
Suppose you wanted to edit this key name, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. See, you cannot change the key value here. Why? Because see, one data is bounded by that value, right?
Oh, yes, sir.
So what happened? It is dependent. This value is dependent by the name value. So you cannot change, cannot edit. But one thing you can do, just remove the part. Okay. Update the dictionary with a whatever keys you require with the key and the value one. Got it? Use the pop method. Pop method automatically delete the first one.
Yes.
Here also the pop method, the clear, the remove, they actually have the value.
Sir, these values are stored in stack or queue. Sir, these sir, all the list values. We can say these values. These are stored in stack or queue.
No. See, that we cannot say. One interesting thing that I will, okay, today I will show you. But before that, at least all of you have to clear concept in stack. So I will show this thing. Stack, queue, linked list, they are kind of logical representations. Okay, so this list I can create what you can say, I can create a linked list using a list. I can create a queue using a list also. I can create a stack using a list also. That are the logical representation. Got it? So we can use it that based on a logical representation. But what is the physical representation of it? Nothing but a array kind of structure. So we can say that either it is a queue or it is a stack or it is a linked list. But based on the operation what you are providing to a system, we can say, okay, now you are using the stack. Got it? Don't worry, let me show it. All of you have the clear representation of the list and stack. What is stack? Can you tell me what operation follows by the stack?
First in, first out.
LIFO policy.
Last LIFO.
Sorry, LIFO policy. Last in, first out, or first in, last out. Anything you can say. Mostly it is used by LIFO. Now see this thing very carefully. Done. What happened? The insertion is done at the which is the end. The deletion is also done at the end. So which policy it follows? Nothing but the LIFO policy. Okay, my stack is done. I need only just 3 lines. So just based on your operation you are providing. Got everyone? Got it?
Yes, sir.
Now one thing you can say that stack has a pointer, nothing but the TOS pointer, top of the stack pointer.
Mhm.
Here it is just consider it as a dynamic stack.
Yeah.
That's all. Yeah, TOS always increases. There is no kind of overflow. But if you wanted it to overflow, you have to create one kind of restriction for it. But there is one advantage or one advanced kind of data structure of here.
Sir,
Yes.
sir, I have written a program about leap year to check the program means the year is a leap year or not. So I am giving the input like 2021 2020. I mean in the code, I mean in the editor. So how can the user give the input randomly?
Randomly means you wanted to take multiple inputs at a time.
Yes.
User loop.
Okay.
See. First, take a insert that how many data it would be. Just I'm going with the basic things. But see, this thing basically in C we find out most of the time we use the scanf, the printf, scanf, printf. But whenever we are accessing the Java or accessing the Python, most of the Python, very less we have used this kind of structure. Then whatever input is there, use the for I in range, put it 5. Now here, if here is your list, you have to declare list outside, then l dot append, and here also use input. Then now you can take multiple input at a time.
Okay.
I give them a static. Oh. Then clear everyone?
Yes,
so yes.
It will take user input or what?
Yeah, it will let user input. Actually, what do we mean by user input? Basically, the input is taken from the console. So that's why this input is taken from the console. If you wanted to print some message, just print it, just enter how many elements you required. And you, now see the value is changed. Okay. So today I will not start from the object oriented concept. Next day I will start from the class. That's all, from the constructor. That's all.
Sir, can I once share my screen?
Yes, you can share. So any confusion up to this? Anyone?
No, sir.
Okay, share your screen.
Is my screen visible?
Yes.
Sir, actually, here is the program. I am giving the year equal 2021. Okay. So what should I do so the user can? I mean, I can give the year input in the console.
Okay, do this kind of structure. Let me share the line. Just do this line. Instead of n, use just year. You got it.
this one. I mean, if here instead of year to equal to 2021, I will give n equal to this one.
int then bracket input. Actually, why I use int? By default, input takes the string value. We have to convert it, typecast it.
Okay. Okay, sir. Thank you.
Okay. Okay. So from the next day, I will start the object-oriented concept.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Hello, sir.
Yes.
Fine.
Tell me, Saurabh.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Okay, sir. Then we will talk in the Wednesday. Message in the Wednesday.
Just ping me in WhatsApp.
Wednesday morning. Wednesday morning.
Wednesday morning. Wednesday, Thursday. Yeah, Wednesday, Thursday morning. I'll say in the morning. I don't know if there is any kind of pressure. Is not. I'll say. If it is not, then.
So only to see the error. Actually, I am getting a value error. Input of layer dense 0. I'm found in the I find it in the internet. I didn't get any type of results. That's why I confused.
Okay, share here.
Okay, so I need to
Let me
open.
just took a glance. Maybe they're kind of some logical like error. Okay, so logical error most of the time you cannot find it on the Google.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. When I just it is when it's just when I'm running the program, it is showing that it is opening the camera. Okay, sir. Then it is getting shut down. I don't shut down means just having some problem with that. I'm showing the.
Okay, which type of project you are doing?
So CNN. Okay, sir. I'm going to share it. Are you able to see the project here?
Okay. Pip install OpenCV Python. Okay, all right. Tinker.td. Go to that. Where you are getting the error? Okay, here. Okay, let me check it.
So it will give
Scroll
error here. It's
where
running.
in that line?
Yes, in the after last line, this while true when I will running this part after this paragraph an error that value error. The program is running right now. It is TensorFlow program, so it will take time little bit.
Check. Let me check the code once again.
So I'm giving you the control. Sorry, just can you please request? Oh, so I'm sending you the request.
The results normalized. Reset result model predict employment max. Okay. The level equal to 1, then
The camera is opening, sir. Now it is.
Camera will open. I see from here. From here, camera will open.
You just check the error, sir. The error is here.
Okay, run the code. Run that part.
This is the error. So go down. Value error something.
Result model dot predict. First here it is coming. Model dot predict. Recept image.
Model dot predict.
Model dot predict. It will take time. You see, this is from the another modules, another package. Then predict. It takes the recept image. Is nothing but the dimension of your this array, this np array. then it takes the result, then it applies it.
What I have done here that I have built a model in the Google Colab, Then after I have put dot h5 file. After that, I have run the because in that h5 file it will contain the with marks and without marks data because I am doing a project of face marks detection alert system. That's why.
That position actually I also get the same kind of error.
I thought this happening because of the GPU, but when
No, not on the GPU. This code, see, this 3 to 4 line, okay, this code has a issue. I have the same code, okay, I already already created that kind of stuff. Not the face mask detection, actually I'm doing another kind of stuff, the exam fraud detection. So I'm also getting the same kind of error on that. So then I have to check it. Maybe there is some issue with here. Model value error means some kind of another object is assigning here, but it takes some another kind of object that we have to check. What is the check there? What is the object type of this receipt image? Basically, it will create a NP object, NPD array something.
NumPy, sir. It will get NumPy.
NP is NumPy. Now in this NP object, this predict, check the predict, this model that predict which type argument it accepts. You have to check it.
Yeah.
Check with this thing or in the weekend. It takes me a weekend. I will do.
So in the Wednesday we will check it nicely. Let me try again one. Today I will try my.
Just try. Just go. Whatever says, just go with this. Or Wednesday I will check. Okay.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
All right. Yeah. Okay, so for today actually I'm just releasing all of it a little early because actually I'm exhausted by today. So next day we'll start from the object-oriented concept.
Okay, sir.
And go and practice what and go and practice what I have said, what I have told you. Just go and practice it. In the Google you will find out the numerous numbers of examples are there. Go and practice it.
So the next class will be probably on Wednesday.
I hope so. Maybe it is Wednesday or maybe it is Friday. Let us check.
Okay, actually my semester is going on, final sem. So
okay, Abhijit, you can turn off the recording also.
Okay.
When was your semester?
hello.
Yeah, when was your semester?